Hey gang, this is Mr. Wilson, and we're going to talk a little bit about Agile Teams and how we use those here in the classroom. Agile Teams is something that is used throughout the industry to help develop software. We use it a lot here in our classroom as a way that we do projects, how we work together, and so I want to just kind of discuss that a little bit with you. What is Agile? It's probably not a term that you've heard before. Agile is an iterative approach to project management and software development that helps teams deliver value to their customers faster with fewer headaches. Instead of betting everything on a big bang launch, an Agile team delivers work in small but consumable increments. Requirements, plans, and results are evaluated continuously so teams have a natural mechanism for responding to change quickly. What does that mean? It means instead of trying to set up a plan, following the plan, and only having one outlet, and that is the plan, we look at having a system where we can do all the most important things first and work our way through a project as we go. Let's look at that just a little bit better. So the manifesto, or kind of the rules for agile software development. We're looking at better ways of developing software by doing it and helping others do it. Through this work, we've come to value, and these are the four things that we kind of look at as values as we are working through this process to develop software. The first one is individuals and interactions over process and tools. Instead of worrying about the equipment and what kind of systems we're going to use and all that, we're more interested in people and how they work together, and a good system of everybody working together, everybody helping, everybody contributing. If you've worked on projects before in school, you found that sometimes you ended up doing all the work and other people just waited on somebody else to do the work. Well, this is not how this system works. Okay, so the most important part is working software, and that's over lots of times in businesses, they would write lots and lots of instructions on how to use the software and how we put things together and all of that. And instead of doing that, we more are focused on actually doing the work. This might be a little bit of a different process than what you're used to in a school setting. Customer collaboration, you're going, what does that mean? Well, instead of developing your entire project in a vacuum, if you've ever had a teacher say, hey, go write this research paper, and you developing trying to write the whole thing, and then them telling you, hey, this isn't what I was looking for. That's makes it to where we have an unclear idea of what we're supposed to work on. So instead of working through the whole process, we're continually talking to the owner of that software, the person who's going to use it, and making sure that we're doing what they really need to have done. And we're going to look at that a little closer. And responding to change over following a plan. A plan says, hey, we're going to do A, then we're going to do B, then we're going to do C. And you may, by the time you get to C or D or E, figure out that the plan's not going to work. It's going in the wrong direction. And so we might have to be able to change what we're doing. We may have to start over because the process that we're working on just isn't going to work. It's not going to do what we want it to. Okay, so there's a value in the items on the right. That's the things that aren't highlighted, but the things on the left are more important. So individuals and interactions, working software, customer collaboration, and responding to change are our most important things in this idea. So how do we do that? Well, the first thing is we do work in teams, and that's Agile Teams. There's really the parts of a team are the owner-client. That's the person who is telling us, hey, this is what we need, this is how we need it. A lot of times here in the classroom, I will, as your instructor, will act as the owner or the client and give you some guidance as far as what we need to do and how we need to do it. Then there's a team lead. This is going to be a student who's going to act as the team lead and help run the team and manage what's going to be done, and not necessarily make all the decisions. The team may make the decisions. That the team lead's going to organize things and keep things going in the right direction. And then there's the members. Now, a lot of times people think of being a member not as important as the other two, and that's just not true. In Agile Teams, every member is important and everyone contributes to the project. And how do we make sure that that's happening and make sure that everybody's on the same, doing the same thing? Well, we do that in a Scrum meeting, and that's a short meeting. It lasts less than 10 minutes. You'll do those in the morning with your team, and the team leader will lead that meeting, and they'll really go around the table and everybody will answer for themselves 3 questions. So the first question is, what did you do yesterday? In other words, what did you do in the past? The second question, what are you doing today? What are you doing right now? What goals are you trying to accomplish? And finally, the third one is, so what was good or what's going on bad with what you've been working on? And that way, if you need help, you can ask for it, or if you solved a couple of the requirements, you may have that in that part where you talk about how good all those things happened. The other thing that we need to talk about is sprints. A sprint is a short iteration. Iteration means to do something over and over again. A short time iteration to accomplish the highest priorities for our project. A lot of times I'm going to say, hey, go ahead and make me a POC, a proof of concept. In other words, the main parts of your program have to be running to show me a POC, proof of concept. Show me that you can do what you've been talking about doing in this project and put it all together. We'll talk about that more later. So these are some of the main parts. How do we teach Agile Teams? How do we set it up and track our priorities? This is a look in GitHub. We'll be using GitHub and doing what's called a Kanban, okay? A Kanban is just a system of keeping track of our requirements, and the team will design those requirements. Here we can see that there's a project that's going on, and you can see that there's some things that are in the to-do list, things that still need to be done for the project to be completed. Then there's some in progress. That's what we're working on right now. The to-do are the things that are sitting out there we need to get started on, but they're out there just waiting. The in progress is the things we're writing code on, we're working on now. There may be 1 or 2 members that are working on that. It may not just be an individual. And you can see the person's names who are responsible for those items on there. And then you also have the ones that are done, and those are moved off into the done category once they're done. The nice thing about this is all the members of the team can look at it and see how far along the project is actually, and can see exactly where the project is at. And so if one person's sick, the other people know what was going on, what they were working on, and exactly where the project was at. So this is a good way that we have of monitoring where our project is and how close our project is from from being done. So that's really kind of in a nutshell, in a quick way, how Agile Teams work. And so we'll be going through using this process throughout the school year and throughout time and how we develop software and what we do. So let's stop for now, and I look forward to talking to you later.